Time to enhance. All right, let's check this out. I'm on a roll tonight. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Star Citizen After Dark. My friend Erad, formerly the Eradicator, still actually the Eradicator, but his channel is called Erad Prime. The secret Hathor sandbox activity Sig never told us about. Let's check it out and let's see what Erad is on about. I think so, Mad Style. I need to relax. You're right. I'm going to drink some water.
In Star Citizen for 4.1, most players are caught in a chaotic gold rush, fighting off Ninetales, competing for red and blue keycards, and activating orbital lasers just to breach a cavern said to hold rare and valuable minerals. But we took a different approach. Instead of diving headfirst into the conflict, we watched the battlefield unfold and waited.
I'm having a great time
because
tonight,
where others saw opportunity in confrontation, we saw it in the wreckage they left behind. This is the new Sandbox activity in 4.1, and here is how we turn destruction into reward. For this expedition, I wasn't alone. I went out with the Rat Club, Shadowrise, Deplorable Infidel, and also Ray's Guide, who was kind enough to join the operation. The plan was simple.
Oh, that's my internet father. He's got Ray's Guide in here. Do you think Ray was being like chastising while this happened? His deep voice. He's like, Erad, do not do that. Dude, like, I would love to play Star Citizen with Ray's Guide just so he could chastise me and I could be like, I'm sorry, internet father. I'm sorry. What'd I do wrong? That's not how you do that, DG360. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad.
Simple. Survey the aftermath of the chaos and salvage whatever we could find.
Doesn't Ray have somebody he hires to do that voice though? That's not Ray's voice, right? Like Ray's the dude that writes it and then he hires like a narrator. Isn't that what Ray does? I'm pretty sure that's what Ray does. I could be wrong about that. But like, what if Ray had a really high voice? Oh no? Okay. All right. So that's Ray's actual baritone voice. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Okay.
Find it near the orbital platforms and the alignment facilities.
Yeah, not very economical.
We started with light fighters sweeping through the area to identify right hotspots.
Oh, Wookiee's
some
going through
locations
shit.
were
We're going to go at it after
others
this.
told
I got
a
to talk
different
about
story.
that, Wookie, if you don't
Fields of
mind.
debris, scorched hulls, and the shattered remains of combat ships. That's where we decided to strike. Before we could begin salvaging, we had to secure the area. Any intruders or
can you put Wookie's link down
could
here,
jeopardize
buddy?
the entire operation.
Go follow Wookie, by the way,
That's why
everyone.
when we found a lone vulture already working the wrecks, we decided to give him
if you don't mind.
polite warning. A few well-placed shots across the bow to make our intentions clear. Unfortunately, he didn't take the hint. Instead, he tried to ram one of our fighters.
Totally
At that point, there was only one option left. We engaged and neutralized the threat. Unfortunate for him, but in the end, just more salvage for the pile. Not long after, we detected an incoming arrow. Again, we weren't willing to take any necessary risks here, so we moved to engage, but this time things escalated. The arrow was soon reinforced by a Hornet, turning it into a proper 2v2 skirmish. Unfortunately, both enemy ships focused their fire on me, and therefore I did not have any other solution but to retreat and eventually regroup. My women followed.
See, that's smart. That's smart. I thought he was going to blow up. I thought he was going to say he took a loss on that one, but he didn't. He retreated. He's regrouping. All right, there we go. I taught him everything I know.
Suit, but just as we were falling back, they turned their attention on our reclaimer, which had just arrived to begin the salvage operation. Losing it was not an option. The reclaim timer is brutal, and we couldn't afford the downtime, so we regrouped, drew the fighters away, and bought our salvager the window it needed to escape. Shadowrise managed to quantum out safely, and shortly after, so did we. It wasn't the outcome we had hoped for, but in Star Citizen sometimes a tactical retreat that saves your assets is a victory in itself. Still, it was clear that this location was too hot to continue, so we set course for the next site. Our next destination was the Raptura orbital platform above Aberdeen. This time things looked more promising. Several abandoned ships drifting in low orbits, but we were about to start salvaging in the open here, exposed to hostiles. That's where race guides came in here, piloting an SRV. The plan was simple here, to tow wrecks away here and eventually set
For people watching this on YouTube, this is an inside joke, and you should be here live because Stunner is cracking my ass up right now with that comment.
Up our own little chop shop where we would be able to work without any interruption. We started with a constellation. Everything was going smoothly until its owner decided to come back and flee. Now, this wasn't something that we would allow. We've already invested time and resources, and that ship was valuable scrap. So we made the call. We took it down. Yes, it meant taking a crime stat, but the payoff would have been worth it. The ship didn't explode and gave us the perfect opportunity to position the reclaimer right above it. Hull scraping began immediately, and once the exterior was stripped, we proceed to much in down for additional materials. And then the wrecks kept coming. Race Guide and the SRV proved essential, towing in mid-sized ships with precision. More constellations, a pair of Corsairs, all of them brought in, stripped down and processed without incident. The system was working, and we were making some solid progress.
Yes, this is great. I was watching a dude who is solo vulturing, doing this shit, and he ended up getting shot down. But doing this and salvage, like a major salvage operation like this, and then you're basically towing the vehicles over and you're scraping them is like absolutely a great loop here. Let's hear it for Erad. That's awesome. That's a great idea. You know, a lot of people will laugh when I say this, but like, you are the content, right? And this is what I'm talking about. People with brains that actually have an imagination can do this in a sandbox that works, right? When you see this, you go, wow, this is what Star Citizen is supposed to be. Intelligent people doing intelligent things, doing it for their organization and making some profit on the side, which is awesome. And it gives you a mission. It gives you something to do. It's much more fun than any PvE experience you could imagine. This is why Star Citizen is great right here.
But in Star Citizen, success can be a dangerous thing, and it didn't take long before ambition got the better of us. That's when we spotted
greed. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You almost have to put yourself on a timer with this type of stuff because you're not gonna make any money unless you're dedicated and say, okay, 30-minute window, 45-minute window. Give yourself a time span, and if you're not hit or if you're not under a threat from a larger group, great. But like, always have a time, like the ETA, and get in and get out and make your money and do it. If you stick around too long, usually that's the probabilities are you're going to die.
A wrecked Polaris, and with it, an idea. What if we could recover the torpedoes and eventually sell them? It sounded risky, but too tempting to ignore. We bought the wreck, located the torpedoes, and carefully loaded them into a C2 we'd brought along for such an opportunity. Once everything was secured, the C2 jumped to New Babbage, headed straight for Center Mass here, where we hoped to convert those torpedoes into a serious payday. After dropping everything in the freight elevator, we went back to our reclaimer so that we would eventually transfer all the materials that we would have salvaged into the C2. Unfortunately, in Star Citizen, success rarely goes unnoticed by the game itself, and as you are going to see, things didn't go as planned, because indeed, just as everything seemed to be falling into place, hard reality struck back. First, Shadowrise suffered an untimely power outage, so his ship was still functional, we could still fly it, but many of its systems were not responding properly. Most critically, we lost access to the salvage operation room, and just like that, we knew that cashing in on everything that we had processed up to that point was off the table. All that work was just gone. And the bad news didn't stop here. When we attempted to sell the recovered Polaris torpedoes at Santa Mass, then nothing. The shop's terminal just wouldn't show the torpedoes at all.
It's like I said at the very beginning of the stream, server tech, man, server-based issues, server-based communications because of object containers, assignment, code, server tech, all these things, man. And it's really a bummer. It's really a bummer when you're playing. We lost 7 people viewing this because they just got frustrated because they remembered along with the good, you have the bad. It's the tale of two cities with Star Citizen. I can't blame people for getting frustrated when shit like this happens and you have a really great idea like ERAD had. You had a wonderful operation. It's all human based, no PvE, all PvP, big reward, big risk, exactly what you'd want out of an MMO sandbox. And then this, and then you realize, oh yeah, that's right. Like, motherfuck, I got to deal with these issues, right? And it's happened to us so many times. We're gluttons for punishment. We know what we're in, right? But that's why I keep saying 2025 is the year. I will say it over and over again. Stability, stability, stability. I am the most important channel when it comes to this fucking message because nobody's going to say it as many times until they're blue in the face. Nobody is going to keep pounding it into their skulls over at Cloud Imperium like this channel will. Stability, stability. I could like just run a repeat of myself that just goes 24/7, 7 days a week. Stability, stability, stability. Like, I don't know how else I can fucking put it. I want a return to first principles. I want to see Benoit. I want to see more content based upon content that deals with server tech and stability. Stability.
And so that meant that the shop was not buying anything. The system simply just wouldn't recognize them as sellable items. So now we were understanding the reasoning here. Maybe CIG was trying to prevent exploits like selling your own torpedo.
Because if that worked, now sometimes this works. Like, by the way, the flip side of the coin is sometimes it works. And when it does, it's marvelous when it works, but you can't always guarantee it. Right? You want a 95% probability that everything that they did is going to work. And guess what? When it does, people come back. And it happens. Every blue moon, it happens where you don't have to worry about it. But then there's these issues where it happens and it totally deflates the people that play. And they say, why bother playing? You guys get what I'm saying? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever felt the way that I'm feeling right now, just like any other Star Citizens ever played this game. Put a 1 in the chat if you know exactly what I'm saying. You've designed something, you figured a way to play the game differently. You found some cool new loop. You got in a ship. Maybe you organized something with other people and you're all down. You're having the greatest of time. And then some shit like this happens and it just completely it's a giant fart. And then you go, oh, that's right. That's right. But we are still here. We are still pushing for this to happen. And, you know, you got to step back and look at the whole picture, right? And take a big breath. And if you get like that, just take a big breath and play another title. And you know what ends up happening? You come right back, don't you? It's happened to me a lot of times. It's happened to me a lot of times. While I cover it, I've had moments where like a month or two goes past, I don't play Star Citizen, I'm playing something else, and then boom, I get right back into Star Citizen again. And it's just, how many times has that happened to you guys? Put a 1 in chat if you've like taken a moment where you've just like withdrawn away from Star Citizen, and then somehow you find yourself playing Star Citizen again. Fingers is putting 2s down. Fingers is... Okay, good. So I'm not the only one. Right. Right. I had myself a little break. Boom, I'm playing again. Doing it again. Because it's really the only game I see that can give me the experience that I want. And sometimes I get it. Other times I don't. And there's so many issues in the game that are kind of breaking for me that go, oh, why do they have it this way? Why? And then I say, oh, that's right. Server tech. Stability. Stabilitai. Stability. Server tech. And it's like it's a mantra in my head, man. And I'm just going to say it all year long. I told you I was going to say it since December of last year. I said I just keep saying it at the detriment of my own channel. I guarantee you the reason why I've lost a couple patrons this year, the reason why I've lost a couple YouTube members this year, it's because I keep talking about it. People go, Jesus, how many times is this man going to talk about it? Thank you, El Guapo. We're going to watch your video next. I need the monks. I need the monks. I need to settle down. You're right. I need monk chanting. Thank you, Diva. I need the monk chanting. Hold on a moment. I need monk chanting music a second. Where the fuck are my monks at? Banana monks? Banana monks. Booty, 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 booty. Take me away, banana monks. Take me away, banana monks. Thank you, banana monks. Thank you, banana monks. Holy shit, banana monks. Let's hear from banana monks. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you, banana monks. Thank you, banana monks. We love you. We love you, banana monks. I'm calm. I'm calm now. Thank you. Thank you, Diva. Thank you, Diva. Thank you. We needed that.
Torpedoes through alts, for example, but it's still a blow to immersion here.
Banana monks
we took a real risk.
out.
We pulled off a successful recovery operation, but we came back empty-handed. This gameplay loop has potential, but for now, it remains
Pepe,
just that.
Diva needs
potential.
Her button. I had to push
the
it
reward,
right there.
at least in terms of in-game profit, simply isn't there yet.
Okay, and I'm stopping it right here. I'm stopping the video right here. You understand? Because I don't want the blood starting to boil because the monks just calm me down. Thank you, Erad, for showing us how Star Citizen is supposed to be played when you have a brain, when you have imagination, and you're just not mindlessly going around doing bullshit. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Man, somebody lit a fire under my ass today.